And welcome to At the Van Wezel. I'm Mary Bensel, Executive Director of the Van Wezel Performing Arts Hall and your host today. And I'm here with Julia Mays, our Marketing Director, who is just coming off a spectacular sales season and artistically, I think, a wonderful year.
Oh gosh, I can't even say enough about this past year.
I mean,
super year.
You know, sort of starting with Dolly Parton and then ending up with Yanni in Chicago and having Jerry Seinfeld in the middle. It was
phenomenal.
It was a blessing.
It was really good.
And we had recently a really exciting event. I brought in a national figure. His name's Seth Rudetsky. For those of you who don't know him, he is on the air almost every day on Sirius XM on a Broadway channel. And that's where I get a lot of my Broadway tidbits of what's going on, you know. And he came in, and he is hysterically funny. And he debuted to a crowd of about 700 or 800 people, all the Broadway shows. And then before that, he did a fabulous master class with some of the students who are students and professional actors on audition technique. I think we have a little bit you can see right now.
Okay, next up, you possibly recognize this if I play it for you. It was a hit TV show at one point, it was a hit movie, and now it's a musical coming to your city. Come on, Addams Family is coming here. Let me tell you something, I saw that show on Broadway. That show got some of the biggest laughs of any Broadway show I've ever seen. I mean, it got crazy big laughs. But what I want to focus on...
Wasn't he
not only was he funny, but I mean, the students just, I was totally impressed with the students.
Oh my gosh.
They picked up, and the professional actors who picked up on his suggestions and...
Yep, and all the inside Broadway stuff, and then we had this fabulous party. But I must tell you, I actually took his mom and him to lunch and to breakfast. I swear, there's a comedy show in there. Yes. They are so funny, and his mother, I mean, it's just a riot. So these great shows that we announced, let's get to some of them. Catch Me If You Can.
One of my favorites. I loved this show. I just loved it because I love the story. You know,
and it's December 6th and 7th, and it's on our Broadway 1 series, and it's a story of Frank Abagnale?
Yes, Abagnale, and Abagnale Jr., I think, and he obviously kited checks all his young life.
He was a pilot.
Pretended he was a pilot, a doctor. He got away with it all.
I know, and if this story's familiar, you probably saw handsome Leonardo DiCaprio in the movie. So that's our first show, followed by the 50th anniversary tour of West Side Story on December 10 and 11. And they have folks redone the show, and it's got all new exciting components to it, and the music, Maria, you know, somewhere
you can't beat
tonight.
The music from West Side Story.
No, it's spectacular. And then one of our specials we have, Julia and I went to see this group called the Midtown Men in New York, and they're four original guys from the cast of Jersey Boys, and one actually Christian Hoff won the Tony Award, and oh my goodness, they took us on a bus. It was in New York in January. It was like 40 below, and there we are, the poor Florida people freezing on this bus, and we went down to see the Midtown Men, and they sang their hearts out to all sorts of...
They're fabulous.
You know, Jersey Boys songs, as well as, you know, Beach Boys and the Beatles, and well, weren't they handsome too?
You couldn't beat them. They could be the Four Seasons when they were young.
They could. And that's a special to the Broadway season, as is Stomp, which is here on January 3rd. What's the noise about, Jules?
What's all the noise about? I mean, if you have seen Stomp a million times, you'll want to come back and see it again. And if you haven't seen it,
you've got to. Bring kids,
young people.
Oh my gosh, 20-some-year-olds.
Yes.
It's just fantastic.
And
then another special we have is Spam-A-Lot, which is making a triumphant return. I mean, all those Monty Python silly
jokes. Get your cape
out. Oh my God. Let's get the horse going. But that's coming back. And then we have a special show that I saw in New York. It's called Traces, and it's on our Broadway 1 series.
And you loved this, you said.
Oh my God. Excuse me. It was... Well, I will say 5 of the most gorgeous men I've ever seen, and there's one female, and they're from all over the world, and they combine circus with street dance, with singing, with acting. It's just fabulous.
Now, it's not your normal circus act, is it?
It's all artistic, and what they can do with their bodies is just, I mean, you know, I can barely get up the steps, you know, and watching them, I'm sure that our patrons will feel the same way I do, but Traces, you don't want to miss it. Go look it up on YouTube. You will be absolutely blown away by it.
Yes, you will.
And then we just switched gears.
Oh, here we go again. Switch, switch.
Here's
to stay is Gershwin Experience, and it is just beautiful. It's one of the Gershwin family, one of the younger grandsons, I believe, that is put this all together, and it's really.
I had breakfast with him in New York, and he is going to be bringing all sorts of memorabilia, personal mementos, stories. This is something that's never been seen here, folks. So it's the Gershwin Experience here to stay.
Absolutely.
And that is in February. And then, hooray for Hollywood!
Hooray for Hollywood!
Thank you for that. But that is
coming off a great season, you just want to keep singing.
You do, you really do. But hooray for Hollywood! This is a show. People might think, oh, it's like 105 years of Broadway, but no, they have costumes and sets, and it's all those fabulous movie musical numbers, and they just go on and on. And then one of my favorite shows of all times, and one of my favorite people.
And we saw this way back.
Well, we saw it way back. I remember Julia and I were in New York City, and my shoe broke. So Julia ran to get the tickets while I'm limping down Broadway.
We decided at the last minute.
I know.
And where did the theater be? Clear across the other side of town.
So we were running, and we're talking about Peter Pan, starring, of course, the fabulous Kathy Rigby.
Okay, how come we changed? She didn't.
She didn't. She's the same age as me, and she still can play, a 14-year-old boy. I mean. And she said, Mary, you were not an Olympic gold medalist, is what she told me.
Well, that's true. That's a good point.
And so it's a brand new production. Kathy flies, all these stories about Spider-Man and all the things going wrong. We've got an Olympic gymnast that's flying around the theater, and she's spectacular.
Yeah.
And the other nice thing about Kathy, she signs autographs for every kid after the show. She is a lovely, lovely person. And that's here February 19th and 20th, followed by another special, which is an old friend of ours, A Chorus Line. One show only.
One show only.
And we really love that show, and it's
I
always
can't
special.
ever get enough of that. I love the show.
Then I have the biggest show of the year coming. Everybody in Sarasota has to come. It's Les Miserables.
Bring somebody.
Oh, come and bring everybody from Charlotte, and this show I saw last year. It is a brand new production of the 20th anniversary show. The music is I can categorically say it is my favorite musical of all time.
It really is wonderful.
Oh my gosh. And there's a movie being made, and starring in it are just some little known guys by the name of Hugh Jackman playing Jean Valjean, and another
Russell
one of
Crowe,
our Russell Crowe is playing Inspector Javert, the bad guy. Ooh. Imagine that. It's like an Australian version of a French novel, you know. But
I really enjoyed this version also.
Oh, it's spectacular.
And the digital,
it's a whole new set.
It's just amazing.
So Les Miserables, March 5th to 10th. If you are not here, you are no longer our friend.
8 performances. We have
8
two
shows.
2 matinees this time.
2 matinees, so everybody can see Les Miserables. And then we go to a whole different place and to those crazy antics of the Pirates of Penzance.
Yeah.
And when's that?
That is on March 13th.
Do we have any of Nanky Poo or any of the gang?
I think we have some stuff like that.
Let's see.
They're crazy.
And then if that wasn't enough, we're going right to hair.
There you
So
go.
let the sunshine in, let your hair down, and if you are, fit enough, you could maybe join in that one famous scene,
Because they love people to come in.
Oh my gosh, there's that hair caused such a stare by that famous nude scene at the end of the first act. It's very brief, but it's something that is part of the show, and it has fabulous songs and dancing, and this is the Broadway version that just won Tonys, and it was just phenomenal. And then, come on, babe. You're ready to paint the town?
Yes, sir.
We're talking about Chicago, the musical. And I swear this show is the most fun ever.
All last year it was Chicago the band.
Yes.
This year it's Chicago the
We're
musical.
Just covering Chicago
we are
every
Chicago.
which way. Yeah.
That windy city.
That windy city, but we love Chicago. And then we have the Addams Family.
Oh, that was so fun. I really so enjoyed that.
We'll keep the lights on for you folks.
Yes.
Come on down and visit,
Why doesn't it keep the lights off, I think, right?
Well, Lurch will take care of that for us.
Yes, he will.
And you can get subscriptions by calling our box office at
953-3368.
Or you can come in and meet the really nice, friendly people at the box office. And we will be back in just a minute with one of our fabulous sponsors.
Did you know City of Sarasota drinking water is very safe? Tested every 2 hours. delivered right to your house. Much more affordable than bottled water. Environmentally friendly. And it tastes good. City of Sarasota water. Safe, affordable, environmentally friendly.
And welcome back to At the Van Wezel. I am so excited to have my next guest here, Leslie Power. She's the general manager of Hotel Indigo, where I stayed when I was interviewing for this job. So that hotel goes so far back in my memory, and I'm thrilled. The rooms are gorgeous. It's such a charming hotel. You must just love working there.
Absolutely. The Hotel Indigo really has that boutique feel.
It does.
That really takes on the Sarasota culture, that beach cottage feel,
Oh, yeah.
where it really has...
The murals are gorgeous.
Exactly. We have 5 different murals that reflect the actual local community of Sarasota, from the sea glass to irises and a variety of other just murals that depict Sarasota. So it's so much fun.
And your staff is so nice. I remember when I came in and I was running up to the room and I wanted to get a Diet Coke, and I probably shouldn't tell you this, but I said I wanted a Diet Coke, and I went to pay for it, and they were like, well, you're staying here, aren't you? And I'm like, yes. And they said, well, then it's on us. And I thought, and I've remembered that. 5 years later, I've remembered the kindness of your staff, and you have a lovely little dining room and a bar that it's really nice to relax there.
Well, it's nice that you notice that, and it's great to hear that, because it's one of the things that's part of the culture of the Indigo, really is the service. And it's something that we try to do with all the guests. It's what we call inspirations, that you take the time to recognize what a guest needs, and really a Diet Coke
that means a lot.
to give to you is something simple that's created a lasting memory for you, and whatever the situation was, you were in a hurry, you needed to get that out and get quick.
And they were so friendly.
And they understood it.
Yep.
So
and that was
I'm glad to hear that you recognized that.
It's just that little extra touch that you folks do. And I was up in, I guess it was St. Pete last week, and you have a beautiful Hotel Indigo up there as well, and one in Fort Myers. And
we do. There are actually 6 throughout the state of Florida right now, and the brand has been growing over the last 6 years. We were their first brand new build Indigo for the Intercontinental hotels, and we were number 6 in the brand. There are 42 Hotel Indigos now.
oh my gosh, so we could stay at the Indigo almost anywhere.
Right, and a few international as well. So it's exciting to
great.
see that brand grow and
I
know
love
we were
staying
a part
in a
of
boutique
it.
hotel, not a hole, my gosh, a boutique hotel, you know, and although I probably stayed in some boutique holes in my day.
Well, we all have at one time or another.
You know, especially when I was in China, but I really love the feeling of it. It's like you're staying at home, you know, and it's really special.
Well, and that's what we try to create with the service culture, really is to provide professional service without a pretense, to be able to make people feel like they're in a bed and breakfast.
Right.
But it's recognized as
But
a
it is a
national
hotel.
chain for consistency and quality.
And we've had a lot of our stars stay there. I remember picking Regis Philbin up over there, and this year we've had tons of shows that have stayed at your hotel.
We have had such a great time with the performers and the different people who have stayed with us. One of the very fun things that we do at the hotel really is that if we know that there's a performance over here at the Van Wezel, we'll play the music of whoever's performing. Example, Chicago. When Chicago is playing at the Van Wezel, we make sure that day we have Chicago music playing in the lobby.
And that's fabulous. That is such a little special touch that I would never even think of, and we really appreciate. We have been partners. Hotel Indigo has sponsored shows for us over the years, and it means so much to us. We have a great hotel culture down in this area of town with the Hyatt and the Indigo, and so we have something, I think, for everybody, you know, which is special.
I agree with you. And we really appreciate the partnership and the relationship that we have fostered over really since you started with the organization 5 years ago.
Because it helps our bottom line too. You know, it gets your name out there and it helps our bottom line. And we've had a fabulous year of sales. Have things been well over at the hotel this year?
You know what, this 2012 year has been really what I would say very steady, a phenomenal year, coming out of a couple difficult years.
Yes.
In the area for
Absolutely.
numerous reasons. So it's great to see the economy picking back up.
Isn't that good? Thank heavens.
Performances, oh,
And then we have
totally
Friday
agree.
Fest coming, and I know you send a lot of your people over to see the shows because they love the free on the Bay concert.
They love that. We have live music every Friday, and it's a jazz event that starts at 4 o'clock, and then we just invite them to continue with the music and head over to the performances on those Friday nights, and they are just terrific. People love that event. We have people that come back year over year once
Just to
they
see
know what that performance is and who is
That
there.
is
And
so
they'll say,
wonderful
oh, we
to
were
know.
here last year.
And we try to mix up Friday Fest with all different kinds of music. But I know you've won a lot of awards for both the hotel and I'm sure for yourself, but I did want to ask you something, because Leslie, for those of you who know her, she's such a leading member of this community. You have a husband who is a coach of a Major League Baseball team who used to be here in Sarasota.
Yes. He is affiliated with the Cincinnati Reds organization, and baseball has always been a part of our lives. He played many years, and now he's coaching, and we kid about it. You become almost a baseball wife during that time, or you lose your husband to the baseball game for 4 or 5 months of the year. But it's also very interesting when he comes home. That's what he is home for 4, 5, 6 months off season.
That's the way it sort of, equals itself out.
Right, and travel's always been a part of our marriage from day one, and I get to see him probably every 3 to 4 weeks. I travel for 3 or 4 days to get to see him, so it keeps life
great.
very interesting.
And you know the sports industry, so that probably helps in the hotel area as well.
Absolutely, and sports is such a big part of the Sarasota
It
culture
is,
as
isn't it?
well, and we're
Isn't
so
it?
appreciative to have a spring training facility.
Oh my gosh, the
in
Orioles
the
are here
area,
now. And
as well as the Pirates, which
absolutely,
is
the
near and
Pirates
dear
are
to both of
sponsors.
us.
And both Leslie and I went to the University of Pittsburgh, so go Pittsburgh.
That's right, we've got that alumni
We've got that
connection.
alumni. Now, if somebody wanted to come because one of the things I would recommend, even if you're local to Sarasota, come for the weekend, get a hotel room at the Indigo, and go to the beach. Spend time downtown. It would be a wonderful romantic getaway. How do people book a room, a website, and do you have any specials in the summer or things like that?
Yes, we do. We have a website, which is hotelindigo.com, and just click on and find us under Sarasota, or srqhotel.com. And during the summer season, we do offer several different promotional packages for Florida residents, for a girls' night in, which we work with our salon,
Oh, that sounds like
and
fun.
they get to do nails and pedicures,
I'm gonna do that.
manicures. We do an adventure, a Sarasota Explore, where we do have the bike rentals, and they can take the bikes, and we package it with some of the other organizations here in town, the Ringling Museum, the Moat Aquarium, Selby Gardens, and we tie it into various restaurants that are here so that we can promote our community and our neighborhood to tourists and travelers that are coming from not just the Northeast, but also
from
the
Florida.
interstate travel.
Yes, absolutely.
And we have Florida residency rates, and if they ask for the Florida residency rates,
Wonderful.
they are special packages for them.
Well, I would tell everyone, please visit and just even go for a cocktail or dinner to the Hotel Indigo, because it is a wonderful place, the staff is friendly, and then you can come over and catch a great concert at the Van Wezels. So Leslie, thank you.
Absolutely, thank you. And you did mention the restaurant is always very busy before performances.
Absolutely.
So it's a great spot to
It's a great way to get
in.
a bite, and the food is absolutely fabulous. Thanks
Thank
again.
you.
Ordinances, variances, site plan applications, major conditional use. What does it all mean? Take the confusion out of City Commission meetings and watch the Commission Report. The commission report takes the meeting agenda, breaks it down, and presents it in a manner that everyone can understand. Look for the commission report right before the meeting begins on Access Sarasota. Then watch the commission recap online the next day and find out what actions were taken at the previous meeting. For more information, visit sarasotagov.com and look for Video on Demand.
And welcome back to At the Van Wezel, and I really do recommend go check out Hotel Indigo. Now, we have, the summer's coming, so what does that mean at the Van Wezel, Jules?
Free concerts on the Bay, Friday
Yes.
Fest.
Getting to walk around and hear fabulous music and having hot dogs and ice cream and seeing the most gorgeous sunset.
I mean, it's a gorgeous place for a
Oh, gosh.
beautiful sunset.
We have, 4 of these fabulous free concerts, and we do lots of fun things. Cliff Rolls is our host, and, we have different
isn't he a
bands
hoot?
performing. He is a hoot. He is very cute. He's up there, and, I always run into Cliff everywhere, and he is just a doll. But we'll have 4 different bands, and they're going to be announced very shortly. But our Friday Fests are June 8th, July 13th, so we have a Friday Fest on Friday the 13th. What will go wrong? Oh, dear.
Nothing.
Nothing,
My mother was
nothing.
born on that day.
Okay.
That's a good thing. August 10th.
And then on August the 10th, we have another Friday Fest, and September the 14th.
Yep, so save the date, people.
Save the date, get your, dancing shoes on. It's
Yeah.
always fun. They start around 5 o'clock and they go to 9.
Boogie down at the Bay.
Boogie at the Bay,
Yeah,
boogie at the Bay with a beer. There you
Yeah,
go.
there you go.
But talking about next year, we have probably 3 of the greatest American orchestras ever coming to the Van Wezel.
Yeah, I think it's exciting.
Yeah, the Philadelphia Orchestra that I'm not sure they've ever been here. If so, it was a long time ago. And I used to work next door to the Philadelphia Orchestra when I was running the Miriam Theater in Philadelphia, and they were performing there. And they are a spectacular, spectacular orchestra. So you've got to see them. And then it's so funny, I
then
have connections with
Pittsburgh,
all of them.
I know, right?
I went to school in Pittsburgh and the Pittsburgh Symphony Orchestra.
Yep. And the third one
Is our great
one
friend.
of my favorites is the Boston Pops with Keith Lockhart.
Yep.
And this year we have a guest that is going to do a tribute to the Barbra Streisand. Is that
To the
correct?
Barbra
To
Streisand
the
or-
Barbra
or
Streisand.
to Barbra Streisand?
To the Barbra Streisand.
And of course, I always wanted to be Barbra Streisand,
I
but I would
know.
never be the Barbra Streisand.
Okay, well, that's a good thing because we already have one.
But anyway, it's going to be a fabulous concert. And then as a special to those 2 shows, we have Itzhak Perlman, violinist extraordinaire on March 14th. And then January 1st, our tradition of Salute to Vienna.
I think this is our 13th year of
13th
Salute
to
to
14th.
Vienna. Yeah.
It's a long time, and it's fabulous. On New Year's Day, come here, relax. Waltz music, it's the tradition that they have in
it's
Vienna.
wonderful.
And if you buy all 5 of them, you get a 20% discount, or if you just take the orchestra package, you get a 15%
15%,
discount.
yeah.
So call us, 953-3368.
Look at you.
You're so much better on that phone number than me. And then we'll come to the box office. And then I think one of my favorite series this year is our dance series.
I think
'Cause-
you did good this year.
Oh my gosh. We're starting out with Momix, and Momix has been here before, and they do fabulous shows. We also are having one of them as our school time shows, and the kids love Momix because they combine modern dance and all sorts of, the way they can twist their bodies, and they're going to be doing a full-length piece called Botanica that has gotten raves
that's gonna be
everywhere.
wonderful.
And that's January 22nd.
That's correct.
Tell us about the next one.
Motion House, it's their piece called Scattered, and if you have an opportunity to go on YouTube and take a look at it, it is absolutely just phenomenal, and for all audiences of all ages. So,
Especially, I think young people, because this one is doing multimedia, where if those people who are young enough, or those who are old like me that watch it on television, they perform on a half pipe, like they do on skateboards and snowboards. And this half pipe they use digital imagery where they interact with it, and it is spectacular. This is the first time they're going to be in this country. They're all the way from Europe. And Motion House is when, Jules?
Motion House is January 29th.
Fabulous. And then we follow that up with a spectacular production of the Russian National Ballet Theater with Sleeping Beauty, which is one of my favorite ballets of all times. It is a ballet full length. It's the big one. It really takes a lot of dancers and costumes. It's in 3 acts, and it's just gorgeous. And these ballets always sell out.
Yes, get your tickets soon. better yet, get the package
Now, you should be the one to describe the next show.
Oh, so Michael Flatley's Lord of the Dance we're bringing back here. Hasn't been here in a while either. And I absolutely love it. It's phenomenal. It's in the spirit of dance.
Haha, Julia used to work for the company Spirit of Dance, and Julia was a tour director for that. So you got your fill of Irish dancing for a while.
Yes, I did.
But are you ready for some more?
Oh, absolutely, because you really can't beat these dance shows. They're just absolutely
They make you feel good,
wonderful.
don't they?
Absolutely.
You leave, the audience just jumps to their feet, and it's...
And
then,
they still sell out houses, so.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
and so I'm excited
absolutely.
about that.
Yeah.
And then we have the Parsons troupe coming. And Parsons is exquisitely beautiful ballet company. When I used to live in Fort Myers, they would come every summer there and have a residency, and they are spectacular. And so that rounds the dance package up on March the 20th. But for specials, we are also featuring Stomp and Traces.
Yes.
So if you buy all 7 of these shows, you get a 20% discount, and if you just buy the 5 regular dance shows, 15%. And how do we get those? How do you buy those? And get them soon, because then you get the best seats. And in dance, you want to have a great seat, because it matters where you sit.
It does. 953-3368, or come on down to the box office.
And we have had some real great success this year, Jules, with something that your team has really taken to a new degree. You have a special marketing team that does social media, and you've done so much on Facebook. People win contests, that win tickets, and I know we have a Tony contest coming up.
Yes, we do.
And we also tweet. I have yet learned how to tweet.
We have, thank goodness we have our marketing team. They really are phenomenal in this area. But we do, we have a contest almost every other day. So.
And then you've got a new e-newsletter that's out there.
Yes, so tune into that. We try to get that out once a month so we don't inundate your email box.
And then another thing I think I should point out is that with concerts, Broadway shows and orchestras book way in advance, but concerts, you never know. I could, get a call tomorrow and we could have Crosby, Stills and Nash in the middle of the summer. I mean, that happened this year with Chicago. Everything is late breaking on the concert scene. So that is,
so you should stay tuned to us all the time.
Tuned to and join our email newsletter club, because then you get alerts on when the new shows are coming.
That's the most important part, I think.
And how do you do that? You go to our website.
You go to our website, and there's a little place on there that just says join our email club. You just click on it, and it'll take you right there. One of the things we should tell everybody, though, is you have to confirm that by going to your own email address and just hitting confirm, and
make
put
sure,
you right in.
One thing I want to stress with folks is look in your junk email, because sometimes the strangest things end up in my junk email that should be in there. And now that we have a moment, one thing that has really bothered us this year is secondary and third market ticket resellers. Please, I beg of you, whatever you do, buy your tickets from our website, our official vanwezel.org, or the box office, or on our phone number. Because if you go to some of these websites that are out there, and you can even click on them from the newspaper thinking you're clicking on us, and you'll pay for a ticket.
Because it'll say Van Wezel, but it's not our site.
It's not us. And you can easily, Jerry Seinfeld tickets that were $95, they were selling for $1,700.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
And we have nothing to do with that, folks. So please, please buy your tickets directly from the Van Wezel, because we don't want, and we've had people also that were promised tickets from these websites, and then the tickets don't arrive in the mail, or they put them in our box office under the wrong name, and people come here absolutely disappointed.
And we can't refund your money for that.
Because we haven't sold the ticket.
We can't even exchange it because we don't know who we sold the ticket to.
Because we had nothing to do with it, and the bands have nothing to do with it. So anyway, that's just a little cautionary piece of information, but we are looking forward to a great summer with Friday Fest coming up, and we will be back next month at the Van Wezel.